Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, chronic wasting disease is found in a deer herd in Mackinac County. Plus, we'll have more details on the progress being made on the Ludington Street construction in downtown Escanaba. And our Washington, D.C. crew breaks down some of the top headlines to come out of the nation's capital this week. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
And a first look at your forecast heading into the weekend. We do have seasonal temperatures and we should hold off that rain for the morning, but if you are going to be out and about throughout the afternoon and even the evening, just have the rain gear handy because we are seeing some showers and very isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures, yes, they are comfortable, but again, you'll really only have kind of the morning to make sure to get outside and enjoy those plans rain-free. So we'll track out those details of the showers and storms and the rest of your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Chronic wasting disease is reportedly found in farm deer in 3 Michigan counties, including Mackinac. An infected 2.5-year-old deer was discovered in Calhoun County, a 4-year-old deer was detected in Kent County, and a 3-year-old deer was found in Mackinac County. CWD is a progressive and fatal neurological disease affecting certain cervid species and can be transmitted from one animal to another or indirectly through the environment. As its presence is not new to Michigan, cases have been previously found across several deer farms and require the termination of the entire herd once a single case is reported. The Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development says investigations are ongoing with intent to rule out any additional recent exposures. Classes at Gwinn area community schools begin on Monday. With a major change on cell phones in Michigan schools this fall, the school says these were implemented in Gwinn as soon as the discussions of the law began circulating 2 years ago. Looking towards election season, after multiple failed proposals, the school is in a new phase with a new and much smaller bond resolution. This is proposed at a 1.89 millage rate for a new roof and HVAC system, as well as other classroom renovations. On Monday, the model towners will return with a quick refresher half day to give students everything they need for a successful school year ahead.
The voters spoke to us. They said, nope, we can't afford this. Figure something else out. And we did. That first half day is a lot, but just getting them into the swing of things is critical.
Multiple informational meetings on the new bond proposal will take place through November. We'll have those details on WZMQ19.com. The end is in sight for a massive reconstruction project happening on Escanaba's Ludington Street this summer. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons tells us what's being done today and when citizens can expect the street to reopen.
It's been a long construction season for business owners and patrons on Ludington Street, but the project has actually been in the works for much longer.
The behind-the-scenes stuff started years ago, getting grant funding together, permitting together. The design process takes a long time. Going through bidding, then the actual construction.
After 4 months of tearing up the roadway and sidewalks, replacing old sewer lines, and updating the streetscape, paving has finally begun.
It's all ARPA grant funded projects, so we have some tight deadlines that has to be completed this year. One of our projects was moving ahead of schedule. That's why people see less activity now. We're waiting for the subcontractors for paving to get here to complete the work.
Overall, the project is on schedule, but there have been some bumps in the road.
The asphalt plant broke down and we got a day without paving. I'm being told that the paving's going to pick up, and in the end, everything's going to overlap like we planned it, despite the little breakdown.
To prevent further issues, project managers ask that pedestrians and motorists adhere to the signage posted throughout the downtown.
The last thing we want is a beautiful brand new road with great sidewalks and great pavement, and someone drives through there inadvertently and messes up the striping.
And to keep citizens informed on the progress, the city has been hosting regular informational meetings for the public. The next one is scheduled for September 2nd.
You have an issue, we discuss it, contractors are there, and often things are solved at that meeting.
Ludington Street is expected to reopen in mid-September, and as city officials, engineers, and construction crews prepare to wrap up their work, they applaud the community for its cooperation and patience.
I know it's been hard on the businesses, but you will have a brand new road once this is completed.
The businesses, the homeowners, the contractors, the city, There's been a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and it's turned out very well.
I apologize for all the inconvenience we put the letting street businesses through, but in the end, it's all coming together.
Reporting in Escanaba, Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News.
Are some weight loss diets better than others? And a life-saving screening many women are skipping. Our own John Truitt has the day's top health stories.
Almost a third of young women have never been screened for cervical cancer. Research from the Medical University of South Carolina found that rates of cervical cancer screenings among women ages 21 to 29 have been declining for decades. At the same time, rates of cervical cancer have been increasing among women 30 to 64. Researchers also note that 45% of women in their 20s aren't vaccinated against HPV, the virus that can cause cervical cancer. So this group is not being protected either by vaccination or screening. They say with fewer women getting screened, more cancer cases are being missed until symptoms get serious. Thousands of new mothers may have undiagnosed post-traumatic stress disorder after childbirth. A study at the UK suggests the emotional and physiological trauma of a difficult pregnancy or delivery can lead to PTSD, and many women don't have access to the care needed to assess and diagnose the condition. The study's authors say suicide is a leading cause of death for women in the first year after pregnancy. A new study suggests the keto diet has greater health benefits than other popular weight loss diets. Research from the Washington University School of Medicine study found that the diet, which limits carbs but is high in fat, beat out the Mediterranean diet and a plant-forward diet in terms of lowering liver fat and improving metabolism. However, researchers found all three diets worked in lowering body fat. Those are some of the day's top health stories. I'm John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
This week in Washington, the Trump administration laid out their so-called economic D-Day plans against Iran. Plus, lawmakers are looking to prioritize research funding for the invasive spotted lanternflies. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
This week in Washington, the Treasury Secretary says new sanctions are ready to go to block all potential sources of revenue for Iran, which include trade related to shipping, oil, crypto, gold, and aviation. The Secretary says the Treasury has mapped the networks, facilitators, and financial channels that Iran uses to smuggle oil, evade sanctions, and fund terror. Iran has already dealt with economic pressure from the U.S. for decades, but the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told reporters that they are tightening the economic noose around Iran, and this latest campaign warns other countries who are financially helping Iran.
Any entity that facilitates money laundering on behalf of Iran will be removed from the U.S. dollar system. The clock just started ticking.
Friday marked the 6-month mark of the U.S. war with Iran. Experts say the war has driven up food and energy costs here at home. Plus, according to the latest polls, the war has become increasingly unpopular among Americans. And the president's political capital was on the line following a few defeats in some recent primary races. His latest success was the Senate Republican race in South Carolina, with his preferred candidate, Senator Darlene Graham, winning the party's nomination. Graham's victory was a huge success for the president after South Carolina twice in the last 6 months rejected his preferred candidates. Donald Trump faced some setbacks recently with a handful of losses in other states.
At the beginning of the year, Donald Trump's nominees were doing very, very well. And then he had a real rough patch in the last couple of weeks with a lot of his preferred candidates not doing well. And he just has gotten his mojo back here with this race. And he knew that he was losing momentum. He even went down to South Carolina, spent time there, raised a lot of money, and also said, pretend like you're voting for me.
The House will return to Washington on Monday, and they have a few big tasks ahead of them, like passing a government funding measure to prevent another government shutdown at the end of September. I'm Rachel Knapp. That's your Washington recap.
Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, a new website looks to narrow down the favorite ice cream shops around the United States. And NASA is launching a new telescope that they hope will give them vision of billions of new stars. We'll be right back.
Now, from the 19 News Forecast Center, this is WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And welcome back. We have officially made it to the weekend, and there are only 4 left, including this weekend, until September 22nd, which is that official start of fall. September 1st and through October and November, that's meteorological fall, but as for that fall equinox, that will hold off until September 22nd. So until then, especially until September 22nd, we should continue to be in that summer mindset, and thankfully the forecast is in favor of that. It's that tug of war right now where a lot of the fall activities have begun, and the forecast, though, is still wanting to hold on to summer, which doesn't happen quite too often. So 76 degrees above average. That average high is 72 for this time of the year. But that's short-lived. Before you know it, it's going to be 70, and then we'll get down to the 60s for that new normal high temperature. But overnight, we'll just see that cloud cover move through. We should see a minimal rain for the morning, but some of those showers could pop up ahead of time before the major system that's going to move through for the afternoon and evening. I say major, but more so the widespread system that's going to be bringing some showers and storms. It honestly might even break up a little bit once it moves through the UP itself, but definitely looking at that possibility of heavy downpours and isolated thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon and evening. And then when that moves out, that cloud cover is a bit stubborn. That will hang around. It's not going to be the sunniest of all Sundays, and it's also not going to be completely dry. That chance of shower and possibly a thunderstorm will continue for Sunday, but I think Saturday is the rainier day of the two. And as for the severe thunderstorm risk for tomorrow, it's that 0 out of 5. It's the general risk. So if you do hear that rumble of thunder, don't completely let your guard down, but we're not looking at really any substantial evidence that would point to a very severe system. So we'll keep a close eye on it, but just know that we're expecting showers and storms for the afternoon, and the winds may pick up a little bit, but I'm not seeing anything too concerning on that front either. So just like to check all those boxes when we get a storm system. It should just be a general summer-like shower and storm system that moves through, but this will kind of start that increase of humidity. So the dew points will likely be consistently 60 degrees or higher, so between that 60 and 70 range, which is sticky. It's very humid. You'll notice it. It may even be oppressive at times. What we do have in favor of that, though, is it's not very hot. So we're not looking at temperatures into the 90s plus those dew points. So you can definitely still handle it. It's just going to feel very summer-like, which is what we're trying to hold on to. And also the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook is also going to continue to support those warmer temperatures. Just wanted a really quick update. Tropical storm Dolly has now been downgraded to that post-tropical, just that low pressure remnants, and it's going to continue to move through across the Caribbean and actually give some much needed rain to eastern Puerto Rico. But we know how the weekend's looking. A few of those storms last into your Monday, and then we'll start to dry things out, but keep that summer-like temperature into the mid to upper 70s and even lower 80s into next week.
Everyone loves ice cream, but where can you get the best ice cream in America this summer? Michael George has the scoop on a website searching for the answer.
For Kenny's 7th birthday, his mom, Melissa Hammer, knew there was really only one place to go.
It is the best ice cream. We come here all the time, right, guys?
Kenny believes the best ice cream in America comes from Applegate Farm in Montclair, New Jersey, a local favorite since the 1800s.
Guys, what do you think about the ice cream here?
Good. Amazing.
Everyone's got their favorite ice cream spot, but the online voting platform, the64.com, looked to put that to the test with a summer tournament for America's best ice cream.
We thought it would be fun to do a tournament that way that's all fan voting. Everybody gets one vote per round. None of the contestants can buy any kind of advertising, so they can't influence the outcome.
This is our chocolate chip ice cream pizza.
Applegate Farm made the list. Owner Jason Street calls it an honor.
If we can create an experience here and create the memories for future generations, they will keep coming back.
Hi, what can I do for you?
The overall winner, Cup and Cone in White Bear Lake, Minnesota.
Be the best ice cream place in the United States is something we strive for every single day. So we just hope we're nationally recognized.
Would you like that in a cup or a cone?
While every ice cream store is unique, a common theme among the top shops, top-class ingredients.
We get our milk and cream from Pennsylvania, from a farm that we've had a partnership with for many years, and I think just staying consistent with your recipe.
This contest may have a champion, but the delicious debate likely won't end here.
The64.com hosts fan-voted tournaments on a number of different topics, including best barbecue and best music venues. NASA will launch a new telescope Sunday that will map our universe in stunning detail. The $4.3 billion Nancy Grace Roman telescope will likely teach scientists about tens of thousands of new planets. Compared to the Hubble telescope, it has a huge wide-field camera. A single image shows an area up to 200 times larger.
It's a massive data set. I think in less than 1 year of Roman data, we'll have provided more data than the Hubble Space Telescope has in its 30-plus year lifetime.
Scientists predict the telescope will help them discover 20 billion stars in our own galaxy. The first images should arrive by Christmas. Mike Ludlam has your look at sports after the break. More high school football highlights tonight with Marinette taking on Menominee. We're back in 2 minutes.
Greetings and salutations. Let's see how close I can come to staying on time on this one. Good evening, everyone. The defending Division 7 state champion Menominee Maroons didn't have to worry about having a letdown in their opener. Okay, who has a letdown in their opener? The opponent was their cross-border rivals, the Marinette Marines. Menominee had a 61 win, 51 loss, and 7 tie advantage going into the 120th encounter. The Maroons have won 10 of the past 11 matchups. The Marinette and Menominee marching bands shared the field during pregame. Menominee took the opening kickoff and quickly moved the ball downfield. 3rd and 6. Dylan Beal, Brody Dagno, he makes one move and he's cruising down the sideline. This is good for 33 yards to the Marinette 24. Menominee scored 2 plays later, 8-0. Maroons made a first down before punting on the 50. Beal hands the ball to Jackson Mizak, and up the middle he goes, cuts to the far sideline. That's good for 50 yards and a touchdown. 2-point good, 16-0 in about 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Next Menominee drive, more big plays. Jackson Mizak gets the handoff from Beal, makes a nice cut, goes 30 yards for that score. Another 2-point conversion made it 24-0 maroon and white. Then Menominee recovered a fumble and trips left. Dylan Beal deep to Braden Woods. That's good for 31 yards, 32-0 in about 9.5 minutes. Maroons win easily 60-6. Menominee will visit Marquette next week. The Bark River Harris Broncos entertained the Westwood Patriots. First play from scrimmage, it's Gianni McDonough doing what Gianni McDonough does best. He says hello and goodbye to the defense. 63 yards and an 8-0 lead for the Broncos. After a 3-and-out, Dane Schmidt will find Andy Johnson on the drag route, and that's going to be good for a 16-0 lead after the 2-point conversion. Patriots would find their footing on the offensive side of the ball. Cohen Ostala deep to Jax Williams, and the Patriots get on the board, cutting the deficit to 16-6. Broncos offense, though, still kicking in high gear. Schmidt throws a rope to Dylan Bruce. He will muscle his way into the end zone, and Bark River Harris on the board once again. They go on to win this one by the count of 40-18. On the scoreboard, Calumet a touchdown better than Houghton, 14-7. Manistee no trouble with Charlton Heston Academy, 48-0. And good news, Sault Ste. Marie found an opponent after Sheboygan canceled its season. Bad news, the St. Louis Sharks defeated the Blue Devils 24-6. 8-player football, North Dickinson, finalists last year. Taken to the cleaners by Pickford, 48-10. North Central Blanco Gibbik, 36-0. Forest Park, 44. Ontonagon, 6. Stevenson, 62. Superior Central, 30. Rapid River whitewashes Engadine, 36-0. St. Ignace does the same. The Cedarville Detour, 55-0. And it was Ironwood over Florence, 52-15. Up North Volleyball Tournament at Vandement Arena, NMU and Minnesota Duluth. And this one is going down by Kaylee McIntosh. She had a dozen. First set, 16-14 Wildcats. Next point, the Wildcats reverse the procedure. It is McIntosh to Barlow who puts it down, and it's a 17-14 Wildcat advantage. Next point, again, Casey Force passes to Barlow, and she finds McIntosh again. Bang, that one's away. 18-14 green and gold. Jump to set point, 24-21 Northern. Anna O'Keefe has a kill attempt dug, and the next thing you know, Madeline Kutso hits it, and it's out of bounds. They said Northern hit it. No, that didn't happen, Casey Fortune said. Review proved to be good. NMU won the first set 25-21, but Duluth took over from there and won the match 3-1. Earlier in the day, it was Michigan Tech against St. Cloud State. We're in the second set. Keely Nellis, Kingsford's Madeline Kreider, and Tricia Kennedy for the kill down the middle. Tech trails 4-2. St. Cloud State swings up next, but Nellis will get the dig, and she will pass to Kreider, and she sets Calumet's Madeline Torla. The kill down the line works. That evens the score at 4. Torla had 8 kills. Next point, St. Cloud sets Bryn Erickson, but Torla gets the left hand on it for the roof and a 5-4 Huskies advantage. However, 5th-ranked St. Cloud State started picking up the pace. Emmy Theory with the kill, and a 10-6 lead for SCSU. And even though Michigan Tech played well, it was St. Cloud State winning this one. And it went all 5 sets, 3-2 for SCSU, 15-11 in the 5th set. Couple of high school volleyball scores. It was Superior Central over Big Bay to knock 3-0, and Norway turned back Bark River Harris by the same score. In boys soccer, Houghton gets 3 goals from Eli Garnell and defeats 3 Lakes 6-2. College soccer, Northern scores 3 goals in an 8-minute period of the second half. Lily Sinise with the game winner 3-2 over St. Cloud State, and Minnesota Duluth took care of Michigan Tech 2-0. By the way, St. Cloud was number 16 in the country. More than 275 runners converged at Presque Isle Park in Marquette for the annual Dale Phillips Cross Country Invitational. 20 high schools, including 3 from the Lower Peninsula, participated in the varsity or junior varsity races. When the boys made the return trip past the new band shell, Marquette's Lucas Ballard was in the lead, but he was getting pressure, and plenty of it, from Shepherd's Bryce Cahoon. Ballard had to turn on the afterburners in the final 25 meters to win in a time of 16 minutes, 21 seconds. Cahoon was the runner-up 3.3 seconds later. Both runners are seniors. Team score, yeah, that was pretty darn close. Let's go to the board, where Shepherd takes it by 6 over Marquette, 33-39. Houghton was third, followed by Negaunee and Gladstone. Elsewhere, individually, Ballard in 16:21. William McDonald of Shepherd was third. Lake Skidda of Marquette fourth, and Drew Davis of Shepherd was fifth. The boys race had 14 schools with a full complement of 5 racers or more. The girls race had 10 teams with 5 runners or more. In red is Marquette's Emma Ziegler, 52.55, 52.35 Maria Mervich of Kingsford leading the pack early. Then they went through the woods more than once and then back downhill. And in the second half of the race, it was clear that Newberry senior Abby Taylor was in command. She was cruising and finished first in 20 minutes, 14.2 seconds. That was 20 seconds ahead of Shepherd's Kaylin Baker. The battle for the team top honors was even closer than the boys' race. Marquette, a 2-point winner over Houghton. Marquette had 5 in the top 24. Houghton had 5 in the top 25. Shepherd was third, followed by Munising and Nagani. Individually, Abby Taylor, 20 minutes, 14.2 seconds. Then Baker, Holly Cook of Houghton, Emma Ziegler of Marquette, and Charlotte Jones of the Sentinels. Come back to me. We'll get to the next one in a minute. The Green Bay Packers just defeated Arizona. That score was 42-38. Kyle McCord, 4 touchdown passes for the Packers. The last one came with 7 seconds to go. So the Packers get the preseason win. And we will be right back.
And a final check of your forecast heading into the final weekend of August. We are going to start things off mostly dry for tomorrow, but if you are going to be out all day or at least throughout the afternoon and evening, have the rain gear handy. It might be one of those situations where you go into your destination and then while you're in there, the rain will start to push in. Temperatures will be comfortable, but we should see those seasonal temperatures into the mid to upper 70s. That was supposed to be the highs there, but lows will also be comfortable overnight. Rain, again, it'll hold off until the afternoon and evening, especially 2 o'clock. We're looking at those heavier downpours possible for us here in Marquette. Saturday is looking like to be the rainier day of the two for Saturday and Sunday, but chances of rain and a few thunderstorms also continue into Sunday. The severe risk for tomorrow will be that general risk, so should be non-severe. It's really just going to impact any outdoor plans where you need to keep your eyes on the skies. We taper off that rain throughout Sunday. A few storms linger into Monday, and then we hit a dry pattern with some warmer temperatures through much of the week.
All right, and Mike, familiar face in Detroit today.
Yes, wearing a different uniform. Let's go to Comerica Park, where Tarek Skubal, the former Tigers pitcher, in the LA Dodgers uniform after the trade before the deadline. A mixed reception from the crowd, and Skubal was pitching pretty well. Strikeout of Javier Baez and Gleyber Torres. The Tigers would be able to get to him in the bottom of the 5th inning. Max Clark will put one down the left field line. Eduardo Valencia would come home. Detroit would have a 1-0 lead. Skubal went 6 innings, gave up that 1 run on 4 hits and had 7 strikeouts. However, in the top of the 8th inning, tied at 1, Freddie Freeman with the base knock, and that will get a run. The Dodgers would go on to win this one by the count of 2-1. And the Milwaukee Brewers defeated Texas by 6-1.
Mike, thank you very much. Thank you all for watching. Hoping you have a great weekend.